got them long tan legs, couldn't help myself, so I walked up in a little farm town with you.
I should have seen that coming. I didn't, but I should have. Yes, so Hairless here. Today we have Home Free's cover of Cruise. This is where it all started. Well, in my head it's the sing-off that really brought a lot of these groups into the public eye. And this is Home Free's first performance on the sing-off. Cruise by Florida Georgia Line. I thought, what is that? I've never heard of the group nor the song. I had a little Google, and Florida Georgia Line are a country music duo with an origin in Nashville, Tennessee. I of course listened to the original song. This has over 160 million views on YouTube. I know that country music has a huge market in the States. It's just something that I've pretty much had no exposure to. I don't love the song, I don't dislike it either. And I did listen to it a few times, and it's definitely grown on me. It almost seems like a bit of a parody song. You know, it's not that serious. I hope I don't offend anyone by saying that. I saw that this performance by Home Free is the version featuring Nelly. So I listened to that version too on YouTube. That has over 150 million views. It has rap in it. Nelly is a rapper as well as a singer. I do prefer the original, but this version that Home Free are apparently covering has piqued my interest. I don't know if it's specifically this version versus the original. Anyway, overall I can see why Home Free picked this song, and I certainly have some ideas of what I'm expecting them to do in my mind, but I think it's probably best we just get straight into it and see what Home Free do for their first ever sing-off performance.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. I got my windows down and the radio up, get your radio up. Yeah, when I first saw that bikini top on her, she was popping right out of the South Georgia water. Thought, oh good Lord, she got them long tan legs, couldn't help myself, so I walked up and said, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, going stop signs through the middle, every little farm town with you in this brand new Chevy with a lift kit. Would look a hell of a lot better with you up in it. So baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. My windows down, my seats are back, my music's up, we ride.
I should have seen that coming. I didn't, but I should have. It's a short performance, so let's. I'll go back a bit and we'll carry on till the end, and then we'll go over the analysis.
My windows down, my seats are back, my music's up, we ride. Headlights up on my dashboard, it's just the way I like. Hey country girl, this country boy like everything about you. Don't change a thing, no way, just stay the same, and I got you.
Come on now, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my. Baby, you a song.
Chevy with a lift kit.
Would look a hell of a lot better with you up in it. Come on! So baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Yeah, well, that was definitely a fun one, wasn't it, to be fair? There are quite a few cool things that they did there that were quite noticeable. Good performance, Home Free are just really tight. Well, let's go over what we've heard. First things first, the key, the original is in B flat, whereas Home Free are in B, 1 semitone above. This is clearly indicated by Tim's bass entry when it comes in.
And cruise, I got my windows down.
Dum, dum. We can really see how they crank up the bass for these live sing-off performances. It must be really cool to be there, see it live. Just like seeing Home Free, I guess, in person. The next noticeable thing, choreography-wise, they're all seated in stools. It's a very cool approach. It means that there's more emphasis on the musical elements. And in turn, we should have a higher expectation for things to be very, very tight musically. There's no moving around to affect the singing. On that note, we open with a nice 3-part triadic harmony.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
So when I say triadic, I just mean that we're in 3-part harmony where all the parts move in parallel motion with each other. For example, this is a triad. 3 notes outlining the chord. Cue Sir Hairless from the future to show you the chords that we're hearing at this opening. So after Tim's entry, Adam comes in with the beat as well. So in terms of texture, we have 3 entities going on. Adam with the beat, Tim with the bass, and then Rob, Austin and Chris singing this triadic 3-part harmony. We'll think of that as one entity. We still have all 3 of these entities when we get the first solo melody.
Yeah, when I first saw that bikini top on her.
But the entity that was made of that 3-part harmony now has 2 of those parts removed. It's supposed to sound a bit more bare, a bit more exposed, but they've made sure to still have this variety in the 3 different entities. And then Rob and Chris join back in, and then suddenly we're back to this full texture 3-part harmony.
South Georgia water thought, oh good lord, she got them long tan legs, couldn't.
At this point, we're 30 seconds in, 1/3 of the way through the whole performance.
All my windows down and cruise down.
And we still have not seen any choreography, and there's not really been much variety in the music either. I've said before that Home Free, at least from the various sing-off performances I've seen, they have impeccable tuning, they're just really on it. So what we've heard so far in this overall quite simple arrangement, even visually, is really drilling this idea in. They're showing us their strength. Now, I don't know if it's a risky move. For your first performance, you want to do something you're comfortable with, but also you want to wow people. People might argue that the arrangement is quite simple, and of course there's no choreography. Well, as long as their intonation is good, so how well they're being in tune with each other, and they're rhythmically tight, and in terms of dynamics they're in sync with each other, it's a great performance. Just after that, we now start to see a bit of variety, and this time it comes in Tim and Adam. Adam's beat sounds a bit more like brushes on a snare or on a cymbal. Tim's bass part is now more embellished. Listen to him rising up and then coming back down. He's moving outside of the range he's been in before. And then we go back to their normal verse pattern, and then we get the rap.
My windows down, my seats are back, my music's up, we ride. Her legs up on my dashboard, it's just the way I like.
I just find this quite funny for a first performance. It's just not what I'd expect. Maybe it's just me, but I think a first performance, you're kind of showcasing what people might expect if you stay in the show a bit later on. From the Home Free I've seen, rap is not a common thing in their performances. But in this context, I kind of see it more as the message it's portraying. It shows that Home Free are fun, they don't take themselves too seriously. They can sing and they're so tight as a group, but they don't need to be kind of show-offy about it. And this style of rap with Tim, it's just quite fun, isn't it? Or funny. I don't know much country music. I don't know that much rap. I don't really know what this is, what you'd call it. To compare to the original song featuring Nelly.
My window down, my seats back, my music up, we ride.
A window down, my seats back, my music up. Obviously, they're completely different in style, that goes without saying. But I like how Tim says, my music's up.
My windows down, my seats are back, my music's up, we
He's making sure to be grammatically correct, to really emphasize this stylistic difference. I think it's safe to say that this isn't meant to be serious, it's meant to be a bit kind of gimmicky. And we can see how much the crowd loves it. It shows it's a good choice by them, especially in choosing this remix that has rap in it. Also, I explained in a recent reaction video how rap can be thought of quite melodically. That's in this video up here, do go check it out if you haven't seen it already and are interested. It's Voice Plays Valhalla Calling. So in this performance of Cruise, Tim's rap is quite melodic. There are distinct notes he's singing if we were to notate it in sheet music. Just the notes that he's kind of choosing in, on, around. They're not harmonically sound with the surrounding chords, the harmonic progression, which means that despite it being fairly melodic, it still has kind of more of a speaking effect. So then we get this bit a bit further on, starting with Tim's glissando, his slide down into this kind of croak. And then from there on, we get a lot of visual representation of the lyrics. This acts as something different before something else different comes.
Come on now, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my. Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll.
So the visual representation of the lyrics, the first different thing. Roll my window down, we get this kind of broken tape effect, or like a rewind effect. It's not rolling a window down, but it just works really well. We also get some textural layering, parts coming in one by one. Shout out to Adam for this bit, for all the effects that he's supplying with his voice. And then the next different thing is Austin here. You know, that's the first real wow moment in terms of singing. He goes up here. That is high. In this blended voice of his that's predominantly chest voice, it's really high. And the other difference is he breaks the seated effect. Austin now stands up. Because Austin was part of that entity we spoke about earlier, the 3-part harmony entity, there's only 2 parts singing, so Tim has stepped in to fill in. He doesn't need to, they could just do 2 parts in harmony plus Austin, but Tim does step in. I guess this was an early sign of Tim's versatility. And also, this then exaggerates Tim's next entry, which comes immediately afterwards. This is important because now we're focusing on Tim's part. Tim's part is the new part here. Why is this important? Well, because he then drops down to a G sharp or A flat 1, which is an octave below this, off the online keyboard. And whilst Tim is the focus point there, he is then the next solo line, which is the last solo line that we hear. So we can see how it's a good arrangement in this regard.
In this brand new Chevy with a lift kit.
And being the last solo, this comes before this big break moment. The beat stops, everyone starts singing in homophony together, so singing the same words at the same time and the same rhythms. Before ending with that regular progression we were hearing before. Well, there we go. That's Home of Three's first performance from the sing-off. I think it was a good choice of song overall. I like the fact that they had a little kind of jokey, gimmicky rap part in there as well. I can imagine that the point of this performance in their heads was just to showcase how tight they are as a group, what they're capable of in that regard. Tiny bit of Austin solo, a bit of Tim going super low. Chris and Rob didn't really have any standout moments, but look, the performance is 1.5 minutes, so they're limited on time. Yeah, quite a fun one. All right, let's leave it there. Thank you to everyone for watching. Would very much appreciate a like and subscribe. If you enjoy my content, want to support me, join the community and vote in future polls, you can do so by joining the YouTube membership or Patreon linked below. And I will see you next time.